Hi everyone, and welcome to this Q&A, which we have recorded as a part 2 for our Discover Your Inner Healer webinar. And I'm Suzanne. I'm a coach from the Netherlands, and I focus on self-healing and self-love.
Hi, everybody. My name is Kelsey Kuehl, and I'm a healer and diviner and energy worker in the United States. And I am really excited to be recording part 2 with you, Suzanne. So for those of you that don't know, we recorded a webinar, I think it was back in October, November. It was before the holidays, right?
Yeah.
And it was about an hour long, and you guys can still sign up to receive this webinar. We'll post a link here for you guys.
Yeah.
Anyways, we just talked about energy healing and kind of an introduction, how to get started,
On
and
chakras, and it's a
yeah,
wide range of all things good about energy healing.
yeah, like the different modalities of healing, and we talked about tips and practices for healing yourself. So it's a really great webinar. It's free. All you have to
If
do
we
is
say so ourselves.
I mean, I think it was pretty good. So all you have to do is sign up and you'll get access to that. And then
Yeah.
what we did was we opened it up for questions. So today we're going to be answering about 20 questions were submitted.
Yeah.
And we're just going to read them and kind of just openly answer. So
Yeah, we just hope you learned something even more about, energy healing and, are willing to try it yourself and, find what feels good for you when it comes to energy healing.
yeah, exactly. So should we just dive in with the first question?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So these aren't in any particular order. They were just kind of in the order people submitted them. And also, if you submitted a question, thank you so much, because this makes it very easy for us. Okay, so the first question was, why do I feel a heaviness on top of my head whenever I am meditating? What?
To me, the first thing that came to mind was, of course, our crown chakra is on the top of our head. So I thought maybe you have a blocked crown chakra.
Yeah, definitely. It 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 could also be because when we meditate, we are pulling our energy up into our higher chakras, right?
Right.
So the heart is the bridge that separates your lower 3 chakras and your upper 3 chakras. So when we meditate, we tend to stimulate more energy in the upper 3
Yeah, there's a
chakras.
lot more focus going on here.
Yeah, and so a lot of times we start kind of activating or opening or turning on those
Yeah.
chakras more.
Yeah, you're opening up these channels, of course.
Exactly.
Hmm.
You're opening yourself up to a higher frequency typically
Hmm.
when you meditate. And so the crown chakra does start to open and kind of, I think it's very normal to feel like a spiraling sensation.
Yeah, or like a tingling or.
Yeah, that's super normal. And so that could also be translated as a heaviness.
Right.
Um,
Especially when you're new to it, it can be quite overwhelming. So don't be scared of it. Or there are many ways that you can, if you feel like there's a blockage, there's many ways that you can clear it, right?
yeah. If it's a blockage, I would say it would feel more like you would have a hard time meditating. You would have a harder time feeling present while meditating. But if you're able to meditate pretty easily and you're still feeling any kind of sensation around the crown, then I think that it would probably be less of a blockage and more of an opening.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I see that as something that's very, very normal. I think a lot of people experience that. Um, Sometimes I'll even try and play with that. If I'm feeling a sensation, whether it be in my arm or my hand or my head, what I'll actually try to do is kind of bring those energies or that sensation even further down into my body, like get into my heart, or you can kind of play with it because it could just be higher frequencies wanting to come into you because you're in that meditative state.
Yeah. And like I said, don't be scared of any sensations you feel. It's just your body reacting to those higher frequencies. Really.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to get rid of it necessarily. You
Mhm.
just sit with it, and you can also always talk to, like your angels and your spirit guide and the team that is surrounding you. If it becomes too much or you ever experience something that you're not comfortable with, you can always
Mhm.
just talk to your team, the angels, whoever it is that you like to pray to, and just be like, I'm not comfortable with what I'm experiencing right now. Can you maybe like lessen this a
Mhm.
little bit or make it a bit more comfortable for me? And a lot
Mhm.
of times that's all you need to do and it works.
Yeah, just ask.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got quite a similar question that was about Reiki. Someone sent in the question about, like, my friend was practicing Reiki on me a few years back, and I got so hot and uncomfortable, I made her stop. It really scared me, and I haven't done any Reiki ever since. So, what was happening, and is this normal? So, yeah, it can be very normal, right? And yeah, of course, energy works different for everyone, and you can be quite sensitive or react quite extreme to it, but I've had a Reiki session once and I felt heat as well, but that's just the energy moving in your body. So that's really nothing to be scared of, and just let it move through you and welcome it.
Yeah. I call this an energy detox
Mm-hmm.
symptom.
Mm-hmm.
Very common thing to experience when you're doing any kind of energy work
Mm-hmm.
because a good Reiki healer or any kind of hands-on energy healer, what they're essentially doing is removing energies from your
Mm-hmm.
energy field that don't belong and
Yeah.
putting energies into your energy field that do belong. So that's
Mm-hmm.
at the very core of it. I think that's what energy healing is. Obviously, it's a little bit more complex than that, but the most basic thing is removing energy and putting energy in to you.
Yeah.
And when we're moving a lot of things around, whether we're taking things out or putting things in, it can create physical symptoms in the
Mm-hmm.
body. It
Yeah.
can, we talked about earlier, some people will experience tingling, dizziness, a feeling
Mm-hmm.
of lightness or like they're floating. Some people will feel heaviness. Some people will sweat even.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working on clients, my bed is right back here. I don't know if you can see it,
Mm-hmm.
but working on clients in person, I'll see like muscles twitching. I'm not even touching
Mm-hmm.
them, but their body is physically helping to assist with the energy
Mm-hmm.
moving and
Yeah.
releasing. And so it can be very common. The other thing
Mm-hmm.
that happens, an energy healer or a Reiki master has to vibrate at a really
Mm-hmm.
high frequency to be able to bring down and channel that Reiki energy that they're pouring into you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you are next to somebody that's vibrating really high, you have to, what they'll do is they become a magnet and they pull you up to match them.
Right.
That can also create like a really hot sensation in the
Mm-hmm.
body as you quickly go from one frequency to the next.
Yeah.
It can actually make you feel quite hot or sometimes even quite cold. It's just the body's reaction to
Mm-hmm.
having to move into a higher level very quickly.
Yeah, yeah. And it can be quite overwhelming, especially when you're new to it or you haven't ever felt those experiences or sensations before. So, but yeah, don't be scared by it. It's just energy moving through you and changes. But I remember also when I did Reiki or someone did Reiki on me, also like several emotions would come up, not just physical, but also just many emotions. I would cry, but I would suddenly feel tears rolling down my face. Yeah.
Yes, tears
Hmm.
are a sign of release and
Hmm.
clearing. Yeah, even like frequently going to the bathroom after an energy healing session, like,
I don't need a Reiki session for that.
yeah, right. Excessive sleeping, or your energy might be flipped the other way and you can't sleep for a couple days after healing.
Right.
That's all very normal. It's just a sign. It's actually, you can take it as a sign that you had
It's working. Or
you had a pretty good healing. Now, some
yeah.
people don't experience any signs or symptoms, and
Mhm.
it doesn't mean the healing didn't work. It's just,
Right.
some people's bodies experience the healing differently. And uh,
Yeah.
the other thing I wanted to add here is a good healer, I think, will always let you have what I call like an integration period
Hmm.
after energy work. And
Right.
you need a couple of minutes. So you've been operating at this high level with this
Hmm.
healer, right? And then you need a few minutes to let the energy settle
Yeah.
and to kind of let your frequency come back down to a manageable earth frequency, right? So you can
Hmm.
go back
Right.
out to the world and do what you need to do. So you need a few minutes, usually 5 minutes is enough,
Hmm.
5 to 10 minutes of what I call just an integration period where there's no healing work being done.
Hmm.
Um, but you're not sitting up yet and jumping right back out into the world.
Right.
It's almost like in yoga we call it shavasana,
Hmm. Right.
right? Where right after you
Just lie down, relax, let
you
everything come to be. Yeah.
you let your energy settle and you give yourself that transition period before you go
Yeah.
from one activity to the next.
Yeah.
And so that will help if you are
Mhm.
somebody who right after energy work feels dizzy or light or hot or
Yeah.
you have those strong symptoms, you need a good 5 to 10 minutes to let your body just like lay flat.
Mhm.
You could even fall asleep if you need to. But yeah, when I get done working with people and I'm all done with my work, I don't pop them up off the bed really quick. Or if
Mhm.
I'm doing a remote healing, I don't tell them to open their eyes. Like I just let them set for a couple minutes.
Yeah. And allow yourself that time to do that integration and to just allow yourself to rest a bit and receive the gift
Yeah.
of Reiki, really.
Yeah. And I even, if you have a really like deep meditation practice where you're going really deep for like 20, 30 minutes,
Hmm.
you also need you can't just jump from one high vibe activity and then jump right back out into the world. You
Right.
need to find that integration period where your energy settles. So even after meditation or, maybe you did some kind of visualization, healing exercise at home, like you still need to give your body time to transition.
Hmm. Yeah, because usually we vibrate, yeah, just on a well, quite low level because
Yeah.
or even if you're spiritual and you do energy work, you're usually on quite a, like medium to higher level, but we aren't constantly on this high vibrational level. Only in the moments that we, actively and with intention, set ourselves up to for that high frequency.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually not the case. So we have to allow ourselves that time, or almost like that motion between higher, lower, and so on.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly.
Oh, that was a great question, by the way.
I did. I really like that question. I actually get that a lot. So I'm glad
Mm.
somebody asked that.
Yeah. And the next one, it says it might be a dumb question, but I'm not. No, there's no dumb questions. So, how do crystals help you heal? You know a bit more about crystals than I do. I'm a crystal fan, but you are a bit more expertise in this.
I mean, excuse me. Well, crystals, each different crystal, like the different colors and the different types of stones, my experience with them is that they hold different frequencies.
Hmm.
Again,
Yeah.
we're talking everything is energy, everything is frequency.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
the different frequencies can help you align to that particular frequency. So here's just an
Hmm.
example. One of my favorite stones is rose quartz. It's
Hmm.
that beautiful soft pink stone. Um,
Yeah.
it holds a lot of heart energy, heart chakra frequency. So if
Hmm.
you're somebody who has a blocked heart chakra, or you have a hard time experiencing love, compassion,
Self-love.
yes, kindness, things like that,
Hmm.
you can choose to work with a rose quartz crystal, a stone, to
Hmm.
help your entire energy field become more in alignment with that frequency.
Yeah, and it's also about the intention that you set. Even when when you're holding a crystal and you ask it to work with you on setting that intention for allowing love in and loving yourself more, then you can work with it. We're all energy. Everything is energy. Crystals are also made of the earth, and so are we.
Yeah.
So I think everything is energy, and if you work with that specific energy that that crystal holds and set an intention, then miracles can happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, whenever I get a new crystal, um,
Mhm,
I just, I hold it in my hand and
mhm,
I just kind of set a prayer, like I speak a prayer or an intention into that
mhm,
crystal. So again, going back to say it is a rose quartz, and I want it to assist me to keep my heart open and
mhm,
to experience that heart energy. And I'll just speak that intention into the crystal,
mhm.
And
Yeah.
then the way most people use crystals is they surround themselves with that crystal, because the more that they're with that crystal, the more their energy is going to be aligned with
Mhm,
the energy that it holds. So, a lot of people will carry them in their pocket or kind of slip them in their bra,
mhm,
wear it as jewelry, put it under their pillow or next to their bed while they sleep. You can
mhm,
meditate with it in your hands, or you can even, if you're lying down, you could place it on your heart directly. Um,
mhm,
so a lot of crystals you can drop in water, so you can put them
mhm,
in your bath water and kind of soak in it, or if it's not a water safe crystal, you can put it on, just around your bath, and
mhm.
um, it's
Yeah,
kind
I
of,
love doing like affirmations with them and
yeah.
to enhance my manifestation process. And
Mm,
when I want to allow love in, or for myself, I can get a rose quartz crystal, hold it in my hands, and just say affirmations like I'm worthy of love. I
yeah.
love myself, those kind of things. And if you put that intention, I'm all about, putting an intention, because that intention also holds a certain energy. So
Mm.
if you link that to the crystal you want to work with, then yeah, I think that's beautiful things can happen.
Yeah, and also keep in mind that each of our chakras are associated with a physical part of our body as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
the heart chakra, it's an energy center, but it also physically it governs our lungs, right? Because our
Mhm,
lungs are right here next to the heart. So anything
mhm,
that has to do with breathing or respiratory
mhm,
physical issues can also be helped by the rose quartz chakra. Like it can help with
mhm,
physical things, matters of breathing, any matters with the heart, so like blood pressure, um, any kind of heart problems.
mhm.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the crystal
So
can
there are
also,
many ways that you can work with them, of course. Yeah,
yeah, it's not gonna like be a cure for these things, but
of
it's gonna
course.
be very
Yeah,
supportive in
right.
in supporting whatever else you're doing. So
Mhm. Yeah, they're quite magical. They can fix us, but they're quite magical to work with.
yeah. Do you have a favorite crystal you like to work with?
I love the amethyst.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
have like this beautiful, quite raw amethyst with a little like purple layer on top. I'm like, I fell in love with it the instant I saw it.
I think you showed me that one, didn't you?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like a proud mom. I like, look at my little
Yeah.
amethyst here.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crystal nerds.
I love that.
Right. Would you like to read the next question?
Okay. This question says, do you have any advice on finding a good healer or psychic?
Mhm.
I've worked with a few in the past, but I didn't feel like there was a strong connection.
Mhm. Yeah, that's always hard. I find it also with like therapists, or there you want there to be some kind of connection. I mean, no, of course, you're not going to be like friends for life, but you, of course, you want to be heard and seen and understood. So I think that's the essence when you want to find someone that you work with. You want to feel comfortable with opening up to them and their energy.
Yeah. I
Mm.
would, I mean, I would say to like shop around and
Hmm.
watch their videos, read their blogs.
Yeah, do some research on them.
Yeah,
Hmm.
listen to their content. Like on my website, for example, I have a free 15-minute consultation for
Mm.
people who want to see if we're a good match and we can connect. So you can always request that, like, hey, I'm looking for a good healer. I think we might be a good fit, but I kind of just, are you open to meeting up? And what I would say is you will, find somebody that you truly resonate with.
Hmm. Yeah, and you will know it. You'll feel it.
You'll feel it. It'll feel almost like a magnet.
Hmm.
You'll feel a strong, yes, I want to work with this person. Almost
Mm.
like an excitement kind of arises within you, or yeah, it'll definitely feel like a yes, or just an inner knowing that this
Hmm.
would be really good for me.
Mm. Yeah, I had the same when I had some Reiki sessions. I went to a different Reiki teacher before, and that didn't really feel right. I felt a bit uncomfortable. And when I went to that other Reiki healer, that instantly just I felt at ease and comfortable. That was the main difference for me.
Yeah. And I think if you have specific questions
Hmm.
or specific goals,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
and you're not sure if that healer is right for you or if they can help you, ask
Hmm.
them, send them a message and ask them and see if
Hmm.
they're a good fit and if they can help you. I probably get, multiple 5, 10 emails a week of people just asking questions about my work, my process, my training, if I can help them with this thing or that. And
Hmm.
I'm all in the business of simply helping people. So if I feel like I can help them, I'm
Hmm.
obviously going to offer my support, but there's many times where I'm just like, that's not in my wheelhouse, but
Right.
maybe try looking into this person. Like I always try to offer them support,
Hmm.
another colleague or somebody, but I answer questions all the time because
Hmm.
I don't want you to come on and do a session with me if I don't think we're a good fit or if I can't help you.
Exactly.
I don't want to
Yeah.
waste your time, your energy, your money. So a
Yeah.
good healer is going to be open to
Hmm.
having some dialogue back and forth before
Yeah.
that first session is even
I
booked.
agree. It works both ways, if your energy matches, or like you said, if you want to have a specific goal in mind or result that you want to have, openness and communication is key to that. And like you said, ask questions.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, definitely.
Awesome. I will check the next question. All
Okay.
right. Quite a long one. We live in a beautiful home, but it definitely has some really aggressive energy. It causes fights with people and portals and energetic attacks. We've had a few energy workers try to clear it, but it never stays clear, and we would really love to not have to move to a different place. Do you have any experiences with clearing houses? And why does the energy feel like it comes back as soon as the home is cleared? Oh, sounds intense.
That is interesting.
Hmm.
So, I mean, a little background. Just like our energy body
Hmm.
can attract or attach
Hmm.
to energies that are unwanted or unhelpful or not for our highest good. Our homes also can attract energy
Yeah.
or sometimes even like an entity or a ghost or something that's not necessarily harmful, but just not in your highest good. In this
Hmm.
case, it seems, she used the word aggressive energy. So it definitely seems like there's something pretty strong going in the home. And
Yeah.
Usually a simple house clearing gets rid of
Mhm.
these basic things, like saging the home,
Right.
smudging the home, um,
Yeah.
opening the windows and kind of doing a clearing ceremony,
Mhm.
praying over the home, blessing the home. These things usually work pretty well, and you actually don't typically need a professional to do that. It sounds
Right.
like they tried that. They had
Yeah.
a professional to come in and try it, and the
Mm.
energy comes right back. So this
Yeah.
is kind of a whole nother topic.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, so here's what I think. If the problem still persists after
Mm.
you've cleared your home, then there's something deeper going on here.
Mhm. Yeah.
There is a root cause to why your house is being infringed upon. And
Mm.
it's more than likely that someone in the home
Mhm.
is inviting these denser energies back in.
Right. And we can unconsciously do that, right? We invite lower entities and energies into our space without us even realizing it,
It
right?
probably is an unconscious thing. It's not like
Mhm.
most people aren't sitting around, asking dark energy
Yeah.
or dense energy.
Yeah. We're not inviting dark energies for tea.
So yeah, it's usually not done on purpose.
Mhm.
But we can unconsciously invite lower energies or entities or ghosts into our space many ways. And I just want to
Mm.
give a few examples because this is like a
Mhm.
whole webinar, but I'll give
Yeah.
you a few examples. So spiritually, we can invite
Mhm.
them in by doing spiritual practices that aren't in your highest divine alignment.
Mhm. Right.
Like maybe engaging in dark magical practices or occult practices. And again,
Mhm.
do these things and they don't really know what they're doing.
Right. Yeah.
Like a good example is like a Ouija board.
Right.
Like a lot of people just think it's a game, but what they don't realize
Right.
is that they're inviting, they're opening
Mm.
they're opening the door and inviting,
Yeah.
you know,
And just doing divination with like lower entities and invite them in without you even realizing it.
yeah, exactly. Like doing tarot card reading, which there's nothing wrong with playing with tarot cards or oracle cards,
Mhm.
but you have to set a prayer over that practice and set an
Mhm.
intention that you
Yeah.
only use those tools for your highest good. And that
Mhm.
if you're using it to communicate to spirit, that the only spirits that are allowed to talk to you through those
Right.
cards, through any kind of divination practice, are
Mhm.
your spirit guides and your
Mhm.
angels and those that are in your highest alignment. So you set those
Yeah.
intentions. And if
Mhm.
you don't, then you could be unconsciously inviting in anybody to walk through the door.
Mm. Yeah. And we don't want them there.
So we want to make sure that everything we're doing spiritually is,
Mhm.
it starts with a prayer or an intention, that
Yeah.
everything that you do is in your highest divine alignment. I also
Mhm.
usually say something like only benevolent, compassionate beings that walk with God. You know,
Mm.
that's my
Yeah.
intention. So,
Yeah. And you
um,
can still, cleanse your own energy, clear your house, and to keep it as positive as possible, basically.
yeah, yeah. And I like the way I see the energy body is it's just like our physical body. Okay, you wouldn't go a day without showering or brushing your teeth or,
Mhm.
washing your face, right? So you
Right.
take care of your physical hygiene daily.
Yeah.
Also have to take care of your energetic hygiene daily.
Right. Yeah. Just look at it as your aura. You have to wash your aura.
Yes, you
Like
have to.
brush through it. Yeah.
When we go out into the world, we're going to pick up negative energies.
Hmm.
You know, we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna pick up energies from other people that aren't in our highest good. Like that's normal. And so when we come
And
home,
inevitable. Yeah.
it really is. So when you come home at the end of the day, you want to cleanse yourself
Hmm.
and cleanse your body regularly, cleanse your aura
Hmm.
regularly, cleanse your home regularly.
Hmm. And keep your vibration high, because then you won't attract as much negative energy and lower vibrating people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
because when you vibrate high, you attract more high vibrational, not just people, energies, beings.
Yeah, actually, that's true because if you're constantly operating like in a state of anxiety or a
Hmm.
state of sadness, depression, if you're angry all the time, like if you're
Hmm.
always operating. Now, listen,
Yeah.
we all experience that. There's nothing wrong with experiencing those lower frequencies, but
Hmm.
you know, when we talk about a high vibrating person, they learn to experience it, feel it, transmute it, transform it, and then they get themselves high again. But
Mm. Yeah.
if somebody in the house is constantly operating at a low frequency,
Hmm.
they also, like Suzanne was saying, they become a magnet for lower frequencies.
Yeah,
And
that's for sure.
so if you have somebody in the house that is mentally or emotionally operating at a low frequency, they could also be attracting and bringing in a lot of energy that is going to be in that alignment.
Hmm. And again, you can use crystals, right? Or like essential oils to if, get the house to feel, well, more positive and high
Oh my,
vibrational.
yes, yes, yes. Bring nature indoors.
Hmm.
Okay, because especially if that person that's operating on that low level, if it's not you, you have no
Hmm. Right.
control over it. You can't change them. So what you
Right.
have to do is bring more high vibe energy into the home to offset it.
Yeah.
Bringing in plants, things from
Hmm.
outside, bringing in crystals,
Hmm.
bringing in essential oils, like diffusing the air with essential oils.
Hmm.
All these things are very simple and they raise the entire frequency of the home,
Hmm.
everybody living in it.
Yeah.
And this can kind of help offset the energy. If someone in
Right.
your home is going through like a hard season of their life right now,
Hmm.
can kind of help to offset that energy as well.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
then,
Great question again.
well,
We have
let me
many
say,
great questions on that.
that was a really good question. Let me say one more thing too,
Of course.
because we were talking about how people unconsciously invite lower
Hmm.
energies in. So we talked about how we could do that spiritually or energetically.
Hmm.
We talked about the mental and emotional piece, but there's also a physical piece as
Hmm.
well. One of the biggest ways we attract lower energies and entities is through addictive behaviors.
Mm. Right.
Um,
Yeah.
is through addictions. And listen, we all have something that we're addicted.
Mm. Yeah. I love chocolate a bit too much, but
I mean, I think I'm probably addicted to my phone at times.
no one's perfect.
Oh, like, listen, we all have addictions, but
Mm.
especially addictions to substances, alcohol,
Hmm.
drugs, um,
Hmm.
things like that can actually, they do invite in a
Hmm.
lot of negative,
Yeah,
unwanted.
because it's like you're not honoring yourself
Yeah.
and you're lowering your own vibration, of course, by that, and you're inviting in a lot of that negativity. And it's, to me, what is of the essence when it comes to vibrating at a higher level is honoring yourself, loving yourself. That's to me the key of being a high vibrational being. And when you, like you said, when someone is addicted to, say, alcohol or drugs, it's, you are not honoring yourself, your body in any way, shape, or form. So that's what attracts those negative energies. And yeah, it's really sad, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So hopefully the person that asked this question has some
Mhm.
direction because it could
Mhm.
be a lot of things, but sometimes if you just to sum this a whole question up and put a bow on it, but if you have cleared the house over and over again and it still feels heavy and dense,
Mhm.
moving's not going to solve the problem.
Mhm. You will just take it with you to the next
There's
house.
probably something deeper going on that we need to take
Yeah.
action on, something in your life, something in the, with somebody else in the home. There's some
Mhm.
kind of root cause, and it's going to be up to you to dive in and figure out what's
Mhm.
actually going on here. Because if you clear the home and you have a high vibrating lifestyle, let's just say,
Mhm.
um, this problem shouldn't be reoccurring. So,
Right. Yeah, it shouldn't last. Mhm.
uh, yeah. So there's something or someone that's unconsciously continuing to bring those energies.
Mhm.
So you definitely need to
Yeah.
figure out and troubleshoot what's going on, fix the
Yeah.
cause of the problem, and then you
Yeah.
should be good to go.
Don't focus on the house too much, but focus on the people that live there and see, okay, what's
Yeah.
going on with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hope this helps, person who sent this
I
question.
do too.
Would you like to read the next one?
Yes. Okay. Oh, this is funny because I was talking about the Ouija board.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
okay. Not funny, but
Yeah.
interesting. I was literally just using that as an example. So this question is about the Ouija board.
Mhm.
This person, I had a really bad experience with an Ouija board when I was younger, and
Mhm.
I felt like I attracted some dark entities or energies.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
possible, or is it just my imagination? And what are your thoughts on these kinds of things?
Well, we now know that it is definitely possible when you have dark magic or you enter, let it enter your life like that. You invite or can invite those more dark entities and energies to your life. So that's it, definitely possible.
Yeah, here's what I think. And the Ouija board itself
Hmm.
is not dark or evil,
Hmm.
just like the tarot cards are not dark or evil or any other form of divination tool.
Hmm.
It's how we use it and our intentions behind it.
Hmm. Again, back to the setting the intention. Right?
Yes. And so we have to approach these things with a kind of honor and respect, because
Hmm.
when we are trying to communicate with the spirit world,
Hmm.
we are opening doorways, opening
Hmm.
portals, allowing spirit to come through and communicate to us and interact with us. And that's not a bad thing as long as our
Hmm.
intentions are clear as to who is allowed in.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not just a game, spirits are real. The other world is real.
Very real.
So when you open a portal, it's not like, in like a Disney movie where you see these funny ghosts or something, but they're just real energies and entities that you invite into your life at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So, I would just say as you get older, I mean, the reason the Ouija board is so, I think, troublesome for people is because it's advertised to kids
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
teenagers. And we have children playing with it like it's a game,
right,
right?
exactly.
But communicating with spirit is not a
Hmm.
game. It's something we need to take seriously.
Hmm. And
Um,
honor.
Honor, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say it should be treated as a sacred act, because it is,
Yeah.
especially when we're communicating with spirit guides, angels, those higher beings in the heavenly realms that truly do have our best interest at heart.
Hmm.
Those are the
Yeah.
people we want to communicate with. So we need to establish strong spiritual boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. And some knowledge in spiritual protection.
Yes. Um, yeah, spirit, yeah. And
So
honestly,
be careful, be sensible with it. Because like you said, it's not just, like a fun board game. It's not Monopoly that you're playing. You're inviting in real energies and entities. So honor it, be serious about it. And like you said, have some knowledge in spiritual protection to keep yourself safe.
yeah, exactly. And if you do feel, because I've actually worked with people who've had similar experiences, and they have kind of felt like if they had a really scary experience as a child playing with the Ouija board, or they had a scary experience as a child just with an interaction with a spiritual
Mm-hmm.
being,
Mm-hmm.
and they sometimes feel like these energies have followed them throughout their life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
um so if that's you or somebody you feel like, maybe somebody like that,
Mm-hmm.
um you can work with a healer, or you can even yourself clear yourself from all those energies, all those attachments,
Mm-hmm.
cleanse them from you, cut any cords or attachments you may have to that experience,
Yeah.
and cleanse your home, cleanse your energy field, just like we've been talking about, in some of
Mm-hmm.
your questions,
Yeah.
and completely just let that part of your life go.
Mm. That's for the best.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
don't dwell on it, because the more you try to dwell on it or bring it back up,
Yeah.
you just invite those energies back in. So,
Mm. What you focus on grows. So
yeah.
that's, yeah.
And I
Focus on
mean,
the good.
to be honest, I think anybody who goes through like a spiritual journey, a spiritual awakening, like, you're
Mhm.
gonna make mistakes.
Of course.
I mean, I
Yeah.
know I did in the beginning. You're gonna have to learn discernment. You're gonna
Mhm.
have to learn who's in your highest good, what's in your highest good. You're going to have to establish strong energetic boundaries.
Mhm. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's part of the learning process. So,
Exactly. Yeah. And nobody else can do it for you. You have to learn that all by yourself. You have to fall flat on your face, get back up and do it again.
yeah, and I think sometimes, I mean, let me just share this. I had an experience, this was many, many years ago, but I had a weird energy going on in my daughter's room for a couple months, and
Mhm.
I actually wrote about it on my blog, but um there were entities coming into her room at night, and basically um just like screwing with her dreams and messing with her dreams and waking her up and things like that. And it scared the crap out of me. And I thought,
Yeah.
why is this happening? How is this happening? And
Yeah.
what I learned was it was just it was a lesson. It was a lesson I had to learn,
Mhm.
um, and that's all I had to learn how to better protect my home and better protect
Mhm.
myself and
Yeah.
get more clear about my boundaries. And
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
it happens.
Mhm.
The biggest thing I would say is don't be scared of these things, because what I was shown during that particular experience is that once they knew I could see what was
Mhm.
happening, they were
Right.
scared of me.
Ooh. Yeah.
They were scared of me. So, um, these energies, entities, whatever it is, they do not have authority over you unless you give them authority.
Mhm. And again, when you vibrate highly, it's
Yeah,
almost like when you say, of course, a magnet, it can attract, but it can also pull away. So when you vibrate high, you just almost like push away the negativity.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing it. Quite scary though, but
It was in the moment, but
hmm.
when I saw how scared they were of me and how
Hmm.
they had no authority over me, and
Yeah.
once they knew I could see them clearly, they were like, "Ah, the game's up. We got to go,"
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
We're out of here.
Um, and so, like, for me, that, like I said, that I actually had to experience that to learn the
Hmm.
lesson. And so
Yeah.
in the end, I was actually kind of grateful that
Mm. It was part of your growth.
I had been shown that lesson. Um,
Hmm.
because I don't have fear over these things because of that lesson.
Mm. That's a good spiritual growth to
Yeah.
experience though.
I
Mm.
mean, yeah, yeah. It was something I had to learn. It was before I was doing healing work or energy work. So I was still kind
Hmm.
of in the early phases of my awakening. And it was a lesson that I had to go through. And I don't look at it as a bad thing. Um,
Hmm.
I look at it as
Yeah.
that was an important part of my process. So
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
The next question, how do you talk to family about your spiritual interests and beliefs?
That's a good one.
Yeah, can be tricky, especially of course when they are not, interested in spirituality and don't share the same beliefs that you do. But
Yeah.
my main advice is really just to, stay open to what they have to say and what their opinions and beliefs are, and don't force your beliefs on anyone. It's like the same with religion. If one is Catholic and other is like Muslim or atheist, and you can all talk about, how you experience it and how you what you believe to be true. But then again, you don't have to force that upon someone else or convince them that how you see it is the only correct way. So just, learn, listen, receive, be open. And that's it, really. And of course, your spiritual interests and beliefs are yours and yours alone. So honor them as you honor yourself. And if others are inspired by that, that's awesome. But I wouldn't force it on anyone. Just see if they're open to it. If they're not, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. This is a hard lesson I think a lot of people have to go through.
Mhm.
Um, I, for a lot of people, you're just going to have to accept the fact that most of the people in your life
Mhm.
are either A, not ready
Mhm.
for the level of spirituality that you are at.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
They B, they don't care. They're not interested
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
your lifestyle, your belief, which is fine.
Mhm.
Or C, they're just afraid. They're afraid
Mhm.
of the unknown. They're scared of the unknown.
Mhm.
Okay, so you just have to accept that not everybody is going to be on the same page as you. And
Mhm.
so I get it. It's hard because
Yeah.
your family are supposed to be your closest allies, your closest support. Um,
Mhm.
I will just say personally, I don't talk about my work. There's
Mhm.
very, very few people in my inner circle even who I talk about my work with.
Right. Yeah,
Who I
same
talk,
with me.
who I talk
And
about,
that's fine.
yeah, you have to learn that it's okay.
You
Don't
just have to find your soul family, your soul tribe somewhere else. I mean, they're out there. I mean, look at Kelsey and me. We found each other online and we're like soul family now. So
Aw. But I mean, don't take it personally because like I said,
Mhm.
it's not you. It's them.
Mhm.
They're
Exactly.
they're not ready, they're scared, they don't care, whatever.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Yeah. Don't
So
take it too personally and, move on. I mean, seriously, since my personal like spiritual journey and growth, it has really accelerated in especially the last 2 years.
Mhm.
And I've lost about 3 friends already. And because they didn't grow with me. And even that, it's like okay to, not be constantly on the same level. Most of us aren't anyway. But sometimes when someone is still here and you're already there, and just the energies don't match up anymore. And of course that's hard. It's always hard to, to lose friends that you were close with. But sometimes you have to just, I have accepted to let it go and make room for new connections and new friends. And sometimes friends aren't always there to stay in your life forever, but just for a period of time, for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, whatever. And I just respect the time that we had together and think of that fondly and now move on to new connections. So it's a roller coaster, that's for sure.
yeah,
But it's also part of that growing journey.
yeah. And I think there's an underlying theme to this question because especially when we are going through when we're changing, when we're growing, when we're going on to like a new phase in our life, a lot of times we need to seek validation
Mhm.
from the people closest to us. Like we
Mhm.
need that validation that we're on the right path. Okay.
Right.
And if you're up leveling spiritually
Mhm.
speaking in your life, it can be a kind of it can be a little scary at times, or it can be like, oh my God, am I going crazy? What's happening?
Mm.
And so a lot of times we feel this need to overshare our life
Mhm.
with other people because we need to be affirmed and validated by our friends
Right.
and family.
Yeah, because it can be quite a lonely journey.
It really can, but here's the thing that I've had to learn is I've just had to learn to be secure in who
Mhm.
I am and what I
Yeah.
stand for and what I believe. And
Mhm.
when I am secure and I have a solid foundation, I know who I am. I know where
Yeah.
I'm going. I know what is true for me.
Mhm.
And when I'm secure in that belief, I don't need to be validated.
Yeah, when you have a foundation that is so strong, no one can shake it.
Exactly. And that's
Mhm.
why I don't bring up my work with 99.9% of my friends and family
Mm. Right.
because I don't need to.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need that validation anymore. You know within yourself that what you're doing is right for you, is your path that you're walking on. And we all have, we all walk our own paths. They're all different, and we should respect the fact that they're all different.
Yeah. And
Mm.
specifically speaking, your spiritual life is sacred.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so if you feel like there's somebody in your life who wouldn't understand you
Hmm.
or would judge you,
Right.
you don't need to invite them into the most sacred parts of your life.
Exactly. Exactly.
So if they are open to it and they're approaching you and they're wanting to talk to you and learn more about your life and your spirituality, then that's one thing. You
Right.
like you were saying, like just be very open and
Hmm.
like that's
Yeah,
great. But if
but
you
when you
have,
know they're gonna judge you, or they're gonna be very much against it,
yeah,
that's also like dishonoring your own spirituality, because you then invite that negativity in when
yeah,
that's the last thing you want. So respect your own spirituality as well by not sharing it with everyone.
yeah,
Not everyone is almost like worthy of knowing that sacredness within you.
yeah. That's how I've always kind of approached that. Is like I don't need to let everybody into the most sacred parts of me. I don't need to share all that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't invite strangers into your house. Your house is also like a sacred space, right? So you don't just let anyone into your sacred space within yourself. That is the spirituality.
Exactly.
Yeah, awesome. All right, our next question. Would you like to read it?
Okay. This person says, I really want to be able to communicate with spirits and to receive visions or messages, but no matter what I do, I can't seem to connect.
Mm-hmm.
What should I do?
Interesting. Yeah, I've had that struggle myself. When I would, I would do, what you call like everything right,
Yeah.
and just meditate, quiet my mind, open my crown chakra up for for downloads. I would ask them like, okay, let me know what I need to know right now. What is your message to me? Or I could use some encouragement. What can you tell me? Spirit guides, please talk to me. And I would just sit there in meditation and like nothing's happening. I'm like, and I would get so frustrated with myself. I'm like, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like later on, I would suddenly hear a conversation or overhear something or hear a song that would just say the words that I needed to hear. And it's like, okay, messages can come in a way that you really don't expect them to come. And I even heard that because that was a message that did come through. Like, they don't always come the way you expect them to. It's not like a loud voice that is blaring like, you're okay, you're on the right path. Sometimes it's just a little white feather, or if that's your symbol, or you can open yourself up to the communication with the universe and say, okay, I want my sign to be a butterfly, a white feather, whatever has meaning to you. So it can come like that as well. It's not just some loud voice blaring like you're okay. So yeah, be open and curious to how messages and signs come through. That's my main advice, really.
Yeah, I would add on just release any expectations you have
Yeah.
because people have an expectation of, you know, I'm going to see this spirit guide and they are going to clearly tell me this message. And if that's
Mhm.
your expectation, you have
Right.
closed yourself off to all the other ways that spirit
Mm.
communicates with you.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Because spirit communicates to us very subtly.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, sometimes quite direct. So no worries. They can sometimes
That
be
is true.
quite direct as well. But 9 out of 10 times, they're not really.
It's usually very subtle. It's usually like just an inner knowing or an inner feeling or a subtle little whisper or a little sign or a symbol or
Hmm.
something. Like it's usually very soft.
Hmm.
Like even like, if you read the Bible, that when these overpowering angels would literally
Hmm.
physically show up and
Hmm. Yeah.
the people most of the time would just like freak out. They're like, "Oh, am I dying? Am I dying? I'm dying." Like they would freak
Yeah.
out.
Did I go to heaven already?
And that's what I mean by release expectations, because honestly, you don't want that to happen. Most people
Yeah.
would be scared to death if
Oh yeah.
a spirit physicalized right in front of you.
Oh yeah. I would be too.
So understand that they speak to us very subtly because they don't
Mhm.
want to scare us. Um,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
also,
And sometimes you can feel them as an energy, I think,
yeah,
because when I do communicate them, I feel differently. I feel calm. I feel, it may sound weird, but I feel a lot of love within me, and I just have a smile on my face from one ear to the other. So you can feel their love. So they're like your biggest supporter team. I always see them. It may sound a bit weird, but I always see them as like, they're standing on all in one line, all with these little pom poms cheering me
yeah.
on like cheerleaders.
Oh yeah, I actually tell people, like I tell my clients all the time, if you could only see the numbers of
Oh yeah.
spirits and spiritual powers and angels that are at your back, if you could only see that,
Hmm.
you would never feel alone and you would never feel insignificant. Like it's
And you would never doubt.
no. Uh,
Mm.
the other thing I would say is your intuition, your
Mm.
intuitive gifts, they are like a muscle. It's something you have to practice. You have to
Mm.
develop and strengthen
Yeah.
your ability to receive messages.
Yeah, because
And
they can sometimes feel like a gut instinct or this feeling like, or hey, just this little trickling of like, this is intuition calling me. And those subtle messages can come from your spirit guides as your intuition.
yeah, there's a lot of like intuitive development courses out there or practices, things you can do to strengthen your intuitive gifts so that it is easier to receive spirit messages. But it's definitely something like you want to commit to, you want to practice
Hmm.
getting
Yeah.
good at it. And even just like being in meditation, if you don't have a
Hmm.
regular meditation practice, it's going to be hard to receive messages because you
Hmm.
need to learn to get quiet.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, that voice of spirit is usually quite quiet. It's quieter
Hmm.
than the mind
Oh,
is.
yeah. Because when you start to meditate, the first thing when you try to um, quiet your mind. You always like the ego pew, pops up, and it's
Yep.
like, and suddenly you hear like conversation that you had last week or the song that you have just heard. It's very loud and overpowering. So when you try to get past past that and it's almost like a sea, when your ego is like where all the busyness is, like where the waves are. But when you dive deeper, it's a lot more calm and quiet. So
Mhm.
when you try to dive into that sea of your mind, that's where the quiet is, and that's where the messages and can come.
Yeah.
Mm. And you can, of course, start a journal. Like whenever you do communicate with spirit, write it down so you don't forget what they've mentioned.
Yeah, I agree. I think like one of the ways spirit first communicated to me when I first really started learning to communicate
Mhm.
with them was through my dreams.
Mm.
And when I started writing down everything that I was seeing in my dreams, every little symbol, every little
Mm.
thing, I really started figuring out what they were saying to me and how they were communicating it to me through my dreams, like the more I wrote that down and took it seriously,
Mm.
the
Hmm.
more dreams I got.
Right. Yeah.
And so, if you're being communicated to an angel numbers or feathers or other signs and symbols, like just write everything down because
Hmm.
that shows, well, what it does is it teaches spirit because they have to learn how to give you messages that you
Hmm.
will receive and understand, and you have to learn
Right.
how to translate those messages. And so
Hmm.
when you write it down, it lets spirit know either, okay, they're getting my message, so I'm doing
Yeah,
it
it is
correct, or
received. Yeah.
maybe I need to switch up how I'm delivering these messages. So it
Yeah.
actually it teaches them what
Hmm.
you're understanding and how you understand their messages. So the journal can be really, really helpful.
Hmm. Yeah, and sometimes we get messages and signs and we don't even realize them. So also try to be aware of them, and it's also like this gut feeling when you know you're actually being given a sign, and your ego is like, nah, probably not, or I'm waiting for a more signier sign.
Yeah,
When your gut feeling is telling you this is a sign, it
yeah,
is a sign.
exactly.
Yeah, don't let your ego talk you out of it. Awesome. Well, the next question is, I'm at a soul crushing job and I just feel like I should be doing something more meaningful with my life. But I'm stuck behind this desk all day long and I need the job to live. So I feel stuck. What advice do you have? I think a lot of people can feel along with her and be like, yeah, I know how that how that feels. So I would suggest really to focus on what you can control, because of course we all need jobs to, pay our bills, pay our rents, and so on. But focus on what you can control, and that is your free time. So do things that give you energy, that make you feel happy, that light you up, and it can even be like a side hustle that excites you, and you may even make some money with it. So and find joy in really the small things. So like I said, focus on your free time, what gives you energy. Maybe it can be yoga, it can be dancing, it can be reading a book, going in nature. Just focus on those small things to, again, lift your energy and your vibration. And yeah, like I said, start a side hustle. Who knows what can come from it.
Yeah, I actually think this is like a story we've told ourselves, or
Hmm.
even I think it's a lie we tell ourselves that our job must always align with our purpose and passion.
Mm, right. Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's simply just not true.
For most people, I think that's not true.
Right, because our
Hmm.
job for most people is just the thing, like you said, that pays the bills, that keeps the food on the table, it helps to make our lives easier. And
Hmm.
it's also that thing that pays for our hobbies and our interests and our passions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So a lot of times we think because I'm not getting paid to
Mm,
do to really fulfill my purpose or my mission or my hobbies, my passions, my interests, because I'm not getting paid to do that,
hmm.
I'm not living in alignment. But that's a lie we've told our,
Hmm.
okay? For most people, you actually have to separate the two. The job is one thing
Hmm.
and your passion and purpose is another thing. They
Yeah, I
very,
think
very,
that it is your, like, you have your job that you get paid for,
yeah.
that pays your bills, that pays your rent, and so on. And the other job I think you have is finding out what that purpose is, what your passion is, and where your joy lies.
Yeah, the two things, they don't have to be completely aligned. That
Hmm.
that is the lie that we've
Yeah.
I don't know where that lie has come from, but um,
Hmm.
with that being said, if the job truly is soul crushing, as this
Hmm.
person has said,
Hmm.
then find another job.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
only you can truly answer that. I mean, if it
Hmm.
truly is affecting you on every level,
Right.
then it is time for a change.
And even if the changes can be small, like if you can talk to your boss and maybe like discuss if they can work from home, or work a few, like one day less, or get like a pay rise, or whatever it is that you need at that moment, but you are the only one who can figure out what it is that you need and if you need a change. So yeah, that's up to you to decide how big the change should be for you.
Yeah. And like I said, once you can let go of that unrealistic expectation
Mm.
that your purpose and your job must be in complete alignment, I think a
Mhm.
lot of people find their jobs become more tolerating.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah.
And
Because you put so much pressure on yourself when you want your job, maybe like an office job or something, it should feel aligned and I should be doing my purpose. And what if it's not? And you just put so much more pressure on yourself, and
yeah,
it's not necessary. Just focus on what you can control.
right. And shift your focus rather than focusing on the one or two people who make the job miserable or the one or two, to do things that you do that make the job miserable. Like focus on the parts of your job that are fun, that are
Mhm.
enjoyable. Um,
Yeah.
so it may just be as simple as that. You're looking for reasons that the job
Mm.
is crushing your soul rather than looking for the ways in which you do get to use some of your talents and
Mm.
gifts. And
Yeah, you started the job for a reason. Maybe when you saw the ad for the job, you were excited about it. You applied for it, and there must be a reason there. So you can also find that reason. Okay, why did I
yeah,
apply for that job? Why was I excited about it at that time? So go back to that core of yourself, like why you. And of course, we all change, in a period of time.
yeah,
So you can also realign yourself with, okay, where's my true talent, my passion? Where can I truly express myself? And if it's not this job, find another.
start looking. Yeah, start looking.
Yeah, start looking. Good luck.
Yeah.
Awesome. Would you like to read the next question?
Okay. Can you talk more about soul loss?
Oh.
Is this just a new age concept to scare people, or is it real? And if it's real, then how do you know if you have soul loss? How do you
Mm.
fix it?
Mm. It's quite a new term for me, so I'd love to know more too.
So soul loss is this idea that a piece or a part of your soul
Mm-hmm.
can fragment off or break off from your energy body.
Mm.
So essentially, you lose a part of your essence or a part
Mm-hmm.
of your like it's almost like a little puzzle piece of your energy field breaks off
Mm-hmm.
and
And
goes.
and is that piece like lost, or is it still somewhere inside of you?
It usually separates completely.
Mm. Mm. That
Um,
sounds
it
scary.
it's actually it's common. Not
Mm-hmm.
it's not happening to everybody, but
Mm-hmm.
I would say, there's quite a few people who are experiencing this. It usually happens with trauma,
Mm-hmm.
an extreme loss, like maybe death or you lost your house in a fire, or usually
Mm.
something in your life you experience as really traumatic or difficult.
Quite an extreme situation.
Yeah, it could also be like a serious illness, an injury,
Mm-hmm.
even. But
Mm.
usually something happens in our life where a piece of us
Mm-hmm.
wants to escape and it does not want to experience the discomfort
Mm.
of
Right. Is it a
whatever.
bit like dissociation?
I would say that that is how, modern day has tried to describe what is happening. But on a deeper level, you can lose a little piece of your energy. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if you lose your soul completely, if the entire soul disassociates from the body, that's called death.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's so soul loss is just when a little part of you breaks off.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And how do you know that you're experiencing that?
so most people will feel a strong sense of loss, like just
Mm-hmm.
they feel like a part of them is literally missing.
Mm.
Or a longing to go home, wherever home is, a longing
Mm.
to, sometimes even just die because they don't feel whole
Mm.
on a
Yeah,
really,
they don't feel at home in their current energy body
yeah,
anymore.
on a really deep level. They don't feel complete. They don't feel whole. A lot of times you can feel an extreme loss of energy, just like I'm
Hmm.
energetically depleted. I don't have the energy to go about my day, to get things done. I don't have the energy to handle life.
Mm. It's
Most,
also almost like with a very bad breakups. Some people can say, "Oh, I feel like a piece of my heart is missing."
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Um, yeah, these people just usually don't feel like themselves. They often are very prone to sickness, disease,
Hmm.
depression, because they're not whole.
Right. Yeah. And
Um,
is there a way to get that soul piece back, so to say?
yeah, actually,
Oh.
so you can the more you just work to heal yourself, heal your
Hmm.
emotions, heal your nervous system, um, all those practices we've talked about,
Hmm.
you can even unconsciously
Hmm.
make yourself whole again.
Mm. Oh,
So,
that's good to know.
so sometimes it'll happen in the healing process, in the healing
Hmm.
journey. You can also like meditate and pray and visualize all of your energy, all of your soul parts, all of your pieces coming back to you, and
Mm.
visualize yourself as whole so you can call those soul pieces back to you.
Hmm.
In extreme cases, you can also work with a healer who
Hmm.
is trained in what we call a soul retrieval.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's more of a shamanic healing practice where the practitioner learns to go and retrieve those soul parts, bring them back to you, and restore them to you. And so, if you feel like you need additional assistance, there are obviously people out there who have that training to bring those back to you as well.
Mm. Well, that's something new I've learned here as well. So thank you for that question.
Yeah, that was a cool question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a new age thing. I think this is a
Mhm.
concept that is very ancient and very old. And I think a lot of our ancient ancestors understood this.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we don't do a good job of understanding that. You know,
Not yet. We're learning.
we're learning.
Well, the next question, I get overwhelmed by the healing journey. Where to start?
Oh.
Oh, yeah. It can be quite overwhelming, right?
Yep.
Like you're standing at a big buffet table and everything you see like, oh, I could choose that, or that. Like, yeah, oh, my advice would be really to start small. I mean, and of course, healing is not something that you do overnight. It's a long process, and you have to give yourself some time and be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself. It can be hard, of course, when you're healing and you're struggling with a lot of things, or you're feeling anxious, or just not happy with yourself. The easy thing it can be to just quit. Okay, this is not feeling right, or you put yourself down because you don't heal often enough. you know so but find what feels good for you to do, because that automatically means you do it more often, of course. So of course you don't have to go to the gym like every day, or move every day in a way you don't want to. So but you can always do yoga, breath work, tapping, do whatever feels good to you. So automatically you start to do it more often. It can be like a morning ritual where you do some light stretching and do some breath work. That has helped me a lot, by the way. When I just because I would always rush through my mornings, and I would always feel uncomfortable in the morning as well, because I would just focus on, okay, getting my breakfast done and getting to work, and I wouldn't take time for myself in the morning. So now I just focus. It can be just a few minutes. So just focus on my breath, focus on relaxation, do some light stretching, and I say some affirmations to myself, like I'm worthy of a relaxing day. And if you want more advice on that, I have a course called Healing Habits where I teach all about this. So I will put a link in the description box, bio, or wherever. But yeah, start small, be patient with yourself and just find what technique works the best for you. Find what feels good.
Yeah, because there's no prescription that
Exactly.
all of us can follow the same path. So you really have to do whatever's in front of you. And for some people, it's physical. Like a lot of
Absolutely.
people, their healing journey starts with them healing their body, right?
Hmm.
Getting, cleaning up their diet, cleaning up the toxins from their home. They start
Hmm.
exercising more, spending more time in nature, eating healthier. Like for some people, that's where the healing journey starts. It's a physical thing.
Hmm.
It's getting
Yeah,
their
exactly.
physical body as healthy as they can. For a lot of people, they start with the emotional and mental
Hmm.
healing work. It could
Yeah.
be like working with a counselor, a therapist, a coach, learning to regulate your nervous system, things like that. And then
Hmm.
other people, they want to start more with the spiritual stuff. So they start a meditation practice, a yoga practice,
Hmm.
they get into Reiki or energy work. I can't tell you what to do. So like Susan
Hmm.
was saying, it doesn't it doesn't matter where you start or how you start. Just do the thing that's in front of you, the thing that excites you, that feels good, the thing that
Hmm.
makes you feel like you're healing. And
Hmm.
pretty soon the next thing will come in front of you and then do that. And it's just one of those things where as you're ready, the next thing starts to appear.
Hmm. And it's
And
also important to, combine these two. It's not just mental or physical or spiritual, but try to interweave them all, because when you learn to, they work together. For me, it was essential in my own like mental health problems that I had to actually like almost invite my body into that, into the techniques that I was doing, because I was only being like busy in my mind and focusing on my affirmations and my tapping, and I was like ignoring my body in this.
yeah,
So it's like essential to, bring your body into that practice. And for me, that it was important to work out. So it can be as simple as, put on YouTube and put on some music and dance along to a video that you love. It's about incorporating all those techniques and into what feels good for you.
right. Because I think we talked about that in the webinar, is
Mhm.
that is that, I always feel like we have four distinct layers.
Mhm.
It's the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And so
Yeah.
eventually you do have to work on all of those layers and kind of
Mhm.
distribute your energy equally into all those layers. You can't just
Mhm.
focus only on the physical healing, but
Yeah.
when you're starting, just pick
Yeah.
one place to start. And then eventually you do realize you're working on it all over time.
Mm. Exactly. So you can start, with doing like one yoga session a week and from your home, if that's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Then when you feel more comfortable, you can do it twice a week, and then you can add a short meditation beforehand, and or you can do some journaling. And it's really also like a learning process about getting to know yourself and finding what feels good for you.
Yeah.
And that was the same for me. I started to do some more dance, and I go to dance class now because it empowers me to feel good in my body. So yeah, it's allow yourself that journey of discovery and what works for you.
Yeah. Great.
Mhm. All
Okay.
right.
Next
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
is, how do you know when a chakra is blocked and how to unblock it?
Yeah, that's always a good one.
I mean, so basically, you just want to, it would be helpful to have a basic understanding of
Hmm.
each of your seven energy centers
Hmm.
and the emotions and the properties that are associated with each of those seven. I mean,
Hmm.
you can learn these things pretty quickly. There's tons of
Yeah.
information out there.
Yeah.
Um, so here's just an example. Your very first chakra, which is your root chakra, it's located at, the base of the pelvis.
Hmm.
And if you study it for even just a few moments, you'll learn that it governs our survival instincts, our sense of safety and security, our
Hmm.
worthiness, and our boundaries.
Hmm.
And so if you have this basic understanding, then you can pretty much self-diagnose if the chakra is blocked or not. So for example,
Hmm.
do you have a lot of fear? survival
Yeah.
instinct, right? Do
Mhm.
you often feel unworthy? Do you lack boundaries?
Mhm.
If you answered yes, then these are going to be very obvious and clear signs that that particular chakra is blocked or out of balance.
Mm. And because it's also, of course, your lowest chakra is basically like the foundation of your chakras.
Yeah.
So when you know it's if your foundation isn't solid and you feel unsafe, that's when you know, like, okay, my foundation isn't very solid right now. So it can be that my root chakra, which is my foundation of my chakras, of my energy body, then there can be a blockage there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Mhm.
remember when we were talking about the crystals, and the heart chakra governs like our breathing, our lungs, our heart. Well, so
Mhm.
going back to the root chakra, um, you can also have physical symptoms in the body that the root chakra is imbalanced. So, for example, hip pain, lower back pain, problems in your legs, your feet, your knees, also the kidneys. These can also be symptoms that
Mhm.
that root chakra is imbalanced. So you don't have to be an expert on the
Mhm.
chakra.
Yeah, it's quite basic information once you know the
Yeah.
basics
You
about chakras. Yeah.
you can just you just need a very simple understanding about the
Mhm.
seven main chakras and what they govern. And if
Mhm.
you have that basic understanding, it can really have a profound effect on your life, because I think the seven chakras are really a blueprint of
Mhm.
what our life should look like when we are completely balanced.
Mhm. Yeah. And of course, there are many ways to unblock and heal your chakras, of
Yeah.
course. So, yeah,
Yeah, I
we
mean,
know all about it.
so I have a course. You were mentioning your course, your
Yeah.
healthy habits course earlier. I have a course called Energy in You, and I
Mhm.
dive into each of the seven chakras and different ways to unblock and heal them. For example, different yoga poses can open and activate each chakra, certain essential oils, working with herbs, certain crystals, even musical notes, sounds,
Mhm.
frequencies, foods, diets, different meditation techniques, different breathing
Mhm.
techniques, mantras. There's literally an infinite number of ways to unblock and heal all your chakras. So if you are curious, I can also link that course for you.
Mhm. And of course, stay connected to your body and
Mhm.
your physical body and your energetic body so you can feel the symptoms. Because I remember when I was diagnosed with severe anxiety and I had a phobia, I would always feel a lower back pain, and I would twist myself in these weird positions that would constantly block me. I mean, I know that now, but I didn't at the
Yeah.
time. So your body is telling you also, you're blocking yourself here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
but
oh,
there are many ways you can fix that. Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome. Next question. How to remove all devils and demons forever completely in my life? I
Wow.
know we've kind of covered this somewhat.
Yeah, the lower frequencies and how to protect yourself against the lower frequencies by being a high vibrational being yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
definitely your vibration is everything. So,
Mhm.
like I mentioned earlier, if you're living in a constant state of low vibration,
Right.
if, for example, you're just a very negative person, you're always living in judgment, gossip, you have those addictions, everything we've already
Mhm.
talked about, you're going to attract those lower frequencies in your life.
Mhm. Because they feed on our fears, insecurities, our doubts, all the negativity
They do.
in us.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so the more you raise your vibration and your consciousness, the less these things will be attracted to you.
Mhm. Exactly.
So work on raising your vibration and being as high frequency as you can.
Mhm.
The second thing is to find God, and, for me as a woman of faith, like, find God and Christ in your heart.
Mhm.
And I know that this is maybe triggering or going to be hard for some people to hear, but it's the truth.
Mhm.
And this isn't a religious conversation or a dogmatic conversation. It's just everybody has to choose which path in life they're going to walk down.
Yeah.
I mean, are you going to walk down the path of God, or are you going to walk down another path?
And
And
for those who are not religious, which I'm not, for me, because I've always had a bit of a struggle with the word God because I don't have a God myself. So
yeah,
for me, when I hear the word God, I just link it to the universe.
yeah,
So that's like a higher being that is in my highest good as well.
yeah. And I get it. I mean, the church and religion has harmed me as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
but there's obviously a path of light and goodness and love, unconditional love and support. There is that path,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a very clear dark path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's up to you which you choose.
There is a lower level. And
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, and earlier years in my life, I was guilty of it too, of kind of just walking down the middle or not getting clear about who I walk with. Who do I
Mm-hmm.
walk with?
Right.
Um, and so when you choose clearly
Mm-hmm.
who you walk with and what your
Yeah.
spiritual boundaries are, that path, and I mentioned this earlier too, that path, that other side has no authority over your life.
Mm. And keep yourself spiritually protected.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. Spiritual protection is a very real and important thing.
Mm. Absolutely.
Um,
You can protect yourself daily, right?
it's yes, yes, and
Mm-hmm.
it's your prayers are probably the biggest thing in your life that can protect you.
Mm. Right.
It's really interesting to see, like, when I go pick up my kids from school, like with my
Mm-hmm.
spiritual eyes, I can see which children are being prayed over by their parents and
Mm.
family and which ones aren't.
Wow. The power of prayer.
It so you can pray for impermeable protection
Mm-hmm.
daily.
Right.
Every morning, every night, pray for protection over your home, your children, your family, your pets, yourself. And,
Mm-hmm.
learn to work with those spiritual beings that are on the highest path.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to work with them. They are your guardians, they are your protectors. Call them in to be around you whenever you feel unsafe. I call
Mm-hmm.
them in at night to stand around the four corners of my bed. I call them in to stand around the four corners of my home. I ask them to protect me all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the I don't yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
my best advice, because I think your prayers are way more powerful than people realize.
Mm. That's for sure. Okay. Shall I do the next question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the next question is, do you think antidepressants or pharmaceuticals can stunt your spiritual growth? Okay, good question. And I think a lot of people deal with this. We've been through a lot of stress and new situations with COVID, of course, and a lot of people dealt with anxiety or had to take medication for a pandemic. So I'm aware that it can make people doubt, like, okay, is this stunting my spiritual growth? But it definitely does not have to. And of course, I think even say, for instance, you're on like anxiety medication or depression medication. Sometimes you need that to drag you from this dark place into the light, and it can be very helpful. So when you are open to growth, and no pill can stop you. And I know this for myself. I dealt with severe anxiety, but I decided not to take pills because wanted to I didn't want to feel that brain fog that can come with it. But that being said, it does not have to affect you to a point where you don't grow spiritually anymore. It's up to you to decide that you are in control still.
Yeah, I actually I would take the same opinion. I don't think that there is anything that can stunt your spiritual growth if it's not meant to, you know?
Mhm.
I think that
Exactly.
we are way more powerful and we can
Mhm.
overcome anything. I also think that, particularly like an antidepressant or something, it can actually be very helpful to some people
Exactly.
if they
Yeah,
are,
because sometimes we deal with emotions or sensations that we don't really how to handle them, how to cope with them.
yeah,
Because of course extreme anxiety, depression, you're dealing with very heavy emotional stuff. So sometimes when you take a pill like that, it can kind of lift the veil a bit and you can feel more like yourself. And that makes place for that spiritual growth to happen.
right. Yeah. I mean, like I personally have been on medication after my daughter was born. It was a really, really difficult year of my life. And I also had like the postpartum depression and the baby blues going on, and it was really severe at times. And
Mhm.
I would just get into this really, really dense, dark place, and I couldn't get myself out. And I tried for like 8, 9 months to do it on my own and to do it naturally, and I just couldn't. So
Mhm.
I took medication, I want to say for about 6 months or so. But what I noticed was that it gave me a floor so
Mhm.
that I
Right.
couldn't get really low. Like I could only get so low. And so that was so helpful in
Mhm.
helping me to it gave me the energy and the boost that I needed to heal.
Mhm.
And so I did experience that, but ultimately what I also experienced is I had a floor so I couldn't get super deep, which was great.
Mhm.
But I also
Yeah.
experienced that it also gave me a bit of a ceiling.
Mhm.
So I could only get so high. Um,
Right.
and that was just my experience. But
Mhm.
so ultimately, once I felt like I had built a solid foundation of the
Mhm.
like 6 months where I was really able to regulate my nervous system and do some healing and kind of reset,
Mhm.
then I was able to slowly come off of it so that I could, raise my frequency. But it's it's not a one size fits all thing. I mean, some people
Mhm.
it is going to be very helpful for you. And as far as stunting your spiritual growth, I don't think that that is possible. If you're
Mhm.
meant to spiritually grow, then you will.
Mhm. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
All right. The next question. Can Reiki heal my stress and anxiety?
Mm.
Well, you're a Reiki healer, so I will allow you to talk first.
Okay. Okay. Reiki and really any form of
Mhm.
energy healing, it absolutely has the ability to soothe your
Mhm.
nervous system.
Mhm.
These practices are usually very calming and relaxing. In fact,
Mhm.
a lot of my clients end up falling asleep in the middle of a treatment because it's just
Mhm.
soothing for your soul.
Yeah. But also, to me, the main thing to remember is, stress and anxiety don't only exist in the body, but they're mostly in the mind, and our body react to what's going on in your mind, of course. So Reiki can help your energies to flow, but you may also need some focus on the mind and thought patterns that you have, of course.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you because energy healing is always going to help whatever you're
Hmm.
doing in your life. It's always going to enhance any
Yeah.
other, healing modalities that you do.
Hmm.
But energy work can only go so far. You have to continue to do the work on yourself.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you are somebody who has a lot of stress and anxiety, just going to an energy healer alone isn't going to solve the problem. It will help.
Exactly.
It will
Hmm.
absolutely help, but you're going to have to go home and figure out how to regulate your nervous system.
Yeah, because a healer can support you in your healing journey, but you are the one who has to do all the healing work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Energy work should never be used as like a band-aid. You know,
Exactly.
you should never just rely on energy work to do all the
Mm.
healing because a healer can only help you transform what you are ready to heal.
And then you dig a bit deeper for the new layer to go up.
Yeah.
And allow yourself that process as well. That's the most important. Allow yourself to feel what comes up and heal what comes up, and then go to the next layer. There's always more layers. You're like an onion.
Always getting
Like a very
good.
small onion.
Yeah, there's going to be a deeper level of healing just when you think, oh, I got that healed and figured
Mm.
out. Then there's going to be a new level, and you're like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
here we go again.
Yeah. You're never really done. And
No.
when you think you're done, you're definitely not done.
Okay. Okay, next question says, I am always tired. Can energy healing help me?
Yeah. Again, of course, it can help you. And yeah, there may be a blockage in one of your chakras, that's why your energy is not flowing and you're low on energy. And of course, like I said, Reiki can help with that. But as we mentioned before, it's not a band-aid. You shouldn't focus on that alone. So it can be essential to look at the thought patterns you have and beliefs that you have, or maybe you have like a lack of boundaries that you set for yourself, that people are constantly asking you questions and you keep saying yes to everything and keep giving your energy to others instead of yourself. Then that's something that should be considered as well.
Mhm. Yeah, and also as a healing practitioner, if somebody comes to me and is really low energy, physical energy, very tired all the time, one of the first things that I'm going to personally look for is on the outer walls of the aura, right? The
Mm-hmm.
edges of the aura. I'm going to be looking for holes, rips, tears, cracks, leaks,
Mm-hmm.
energy leaks, things like that because think of like a water balloon. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a big water balloon and you pop a little hole in it, it's going to leak,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
it's not going to leak very quickly, but slowly and steady. And the
And
more holes
yeah,
you have, the more it's going to come out, of course.
and even if you keep filling that balloon back up, it's still going to leak. And so I actually see the energy field like that sometimes. It's super common, just like, oh, our body gets bruised up, right? We get
Mm-hmm.
scratches, we accidentally burn ourselves on the stove. Okay, so our physical body kind of can get damaged. Our energy
Mm-hmm.
field, it goes through wear and tear as well. It gets damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody who's very tired or energetically drained,
Mm-hmm.
they probably need some aura repair. They've probably got some cracks or holes in their auric field that just needs to be repaired. And so energy healing can really help with that. It's
Mm-hmm.
super, super common to have those things. I pretty much everybody has them, I think. Most like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
majority of the people that I see who don't get frequent energy work, they have holes or drains in their
Mm.
energy field. And
And
so,
I think it's also essential to just look at your sleep pattern. Like,
yeah.
yeah, do you sleep at a regular hour? Do you get enough sleep? Do you get good sleep? And because yeah, you need that 7, 8 hours. I need 9. So yeah, just look at your sleep patterns, and because that's really a cornerstone of good health.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
Mm. So
Yeah.
make sleep a priority and your aura.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How can I release emotions that I feel are trapped in my body?
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, I had that a lot when I was dealing with my anxiety, because your anxiety, it would feel very physical to me. I would shake. The muscles would tighten. My shoulders would be here instead of there. So that's everything we feel. It has also a bodily reaction, of course. So I would first, of course, become aware of that. Become aware of your body and how you move, how you sit. If you relax, are you really relaxed? So let your body, your muscles, consciously react. Set an intention to relax yourself, and You can also do some somatic movements and yoga, mindful walking. Just really feel your body in what you're doing. So
Yeah.
be aware of your body. So it can just be as simple as just lying on your yoga mat, breathing deep into your belly and actually feeling all the muscles
Hmm.
resting on your yoga mat. Just really incorporate your body and relax. That that's the relax, breathe deep, and that created miracles for me because I feel a lot more safe in my body because I'm allowing myself to relax and to rest without feeling guilty. Because I think a lot of us feel guilt when we try to rest because we always want to be, productive. And but I think it's even more important to get that rest so you can be even better at what you do the rest of the day. So really incorporate your body into the techniques that you have, into the yoga, into the walking, the dancing, whatever you want to do, whatever feels good for you,
Hmm.
and feel your body and allow it to relax with intention.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Movement is a huge key. Um,
Mhm.
like I tell people to just like shake like really hard, like a dog shaking off water, you know?
Yeah.
Like really like if you feel it in your heart, like really doing like chest pumps, like you can physically move stuck energy. Go out for a
Mhm.
walk, do some cardio exercise, like get your body moving. It can get
Mhm.
those emotions if they do feel trapped in the energy body or the physical body. The more you can move, I think that that helps.
Mhm.
There's other ways to release emotions from your body as well when they get trapped. So one thing I learned through a couple of friends of mine who are grief counselors
Mhm.
is to have a kind of daily grief practice.
Mhm.
And so they'll fill up a bowl of water
Mhm.
and they'll sit with that and they'll just speak to the water. Or sometimes crying comes up, right? Crying, as
Mhm.
I mentioned earlier, it's a healthy release of emotions. And
Mhm.
they'll either speak to the water or pray into the water, and they'll just allow their emotions to come out and like give it to the water. And then they'll go dump the water out outside, but just a way to healthy get those emotions out, a way to express those emotions. Don't keep them inside.
Mhm.
um,
Yeah.
find a way to bring them out. And
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 I do the same with showering,
yeah,
because you mentioned water. Because when you shower, of course, the water touches every part of your body. And it's like ask the water to take the stress away, to relax your body, to heal your body. Work with the water, work with what you have.
yes, yes. Another thing that I like to do is I call it write a letter that you'll never send.
Hmm.
So if your emotion is specifically tied up to a person, and it
Right.
could be like a person from your past even,
Hmm.
um, just to bring up all those feelings and emotions and write it all down and
Don't keep it in, write it out.
don't hold it back. Everything you wish you could say, everything you want to say. But a lot of times it's not going to help to actually have those conversations, especially if that
Hmm.
person has hurt you. So that's why I call it a letter you'll never send. You just get it out of you, either get
Hmm.
it on paper or in the shower. But like the more you can really allow those emotions to come up and out.
I recently did something similar, which was a forgiveness ritual. I
Mm,
would write down with this particular person, I wrote down for myself what happened. And
mm,
then I wrote another page with what I wish would have happened. And then I just forgave that person. So, like, okay, this didn't happen. And
mhm.
I'm releasing the expectation of how I wish it would have been.
Yeah.
And you can just throw that away. It's not going anywhere. Just throw it away. I literally just threw it in the air.
Ah,
But you can let it go. It's out of your mind, it's out of your heart, it's on paper. You set an intention to let that emotion that is attached to it, to let that go. And
yeah.
then you literally just toss it. You can burn it, you can bury it, whatever feels
Yeah.
good to you. And you have to experiment with that. But that's another great way to release that.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, because I mean, even like I'm married. I've been married almost 15 years. Like we have fights, we have arguments, we have days where we don't get along. Like that's normal,
Mhm.
right? And sometimes when we have the bigger fights, I'll write down everything that I'm feeling, whether it's
Yeah.
true or not, whether it's emotional or not. Like I'll write it all down or type it all out and I'll just sit with it for a day. And
Mm.
the next day when I come back to it, I'm like, okay, I'm good. But
Yeah.
like I'm not holding on to all this. I was able, like there's just something very therapeutic by having a journal or having some kind of release practice where you get those emotions out of you.
And especially when you read them back,
Yeah.
in the moment that you're writing them down, you feel them very intensely, and they're just currently your truth. But
Yeah.
when you look at them a day later and you read them, like, whoa, this is intense, and
Like
now I
where
don't
did all
feel
that
like
go?
that at
Yeah.
all. Yeah. So it's a good way to release that as well, and you can look back on yourself like, oh, maybe I was a bit too much here.
Yeah, and then it helps because then you don't express all that emotion. Uh,
Hmm.
you end up don't expressing that with the people you love because then that's
Hmm.
hurtful. Sometimes we just need to get our emotions out, but we don't need to dump them on other people.
Not everyone is ready to receive the emotions we experience sometimes. So then
Yeah.
you have to be your own like outlet when it comes to that. Just write it down.
Yeah,
Write it
that's
down and
true.
let it go.
That's
Mhm.
true. All right, this is our
That's
very
our last question already, right?
last question.
Yeah.
You write, I suffer from unwanted or negative thoughts, and it is draining my energy. What can I do?
Mm. Yeah, when it's draining your energy, we tend to overthink a lot. We are a society that is mainly focused on, what's going on in here. So when we overthink, they have a tendency to be, of course, negative thoughts because don't really have, we don't really shower ourselves with a lot of positive thoughts. We don't constantly think, oh, I'm so great. Oh, you usually think, I'm not good enough for this, or I'm not talented enough, or not good enough, and so on. So I would really suggest to just get out of your head and more into your body. And because the anxiety and the overthinking, all the negativity that's going on, it's all going on up here.
Yeah.
So go down, go into your body more and feel more instead of think more, and just create more positive energy, by just doing something that you love, and move, breathe deep, dance, whatever makes you happy, whatever gets that positive energy going inside of you. So I always say depression hates a moving target. So connect to your body more and move in the way that feels good to you, and just stop going up here and be present in your body more. Just don't think too much. That's an easy thing to say, of course, especially when you're dealing with anxiety and stress or depression. It's all up here, of course. So we tend to overthink a lot on so many things. So I would really say, okay, be kind to yourself. It's normal to overthink. I think we all do it. So yeah, just be kind to yourself. That's my main advice. And move.
Yeah, that's great advice. I also think sometimes those unwanted or negative thoughts aren't even ours,
Mm,
right? Especially if you are very sensitive or empathic.
mm, yeah.
You could also just be picking up on other people's thoughts and emotions. And that's really
Mm,
what an empath does is especially like an unawakened empath, somebody that doesn't really know they're empathic, is they pick up on
mm,
everybody else's energies and they think that it's actually theirs.
yeah. Especially when we're dealing in the collective with such heavy and negative emotions.
Yeah, guys, and the collective energy is full of fear right now.
Yeah.
It's very negative. I mean, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go turn on the news for 10 minutes. It is all
Mm,
bad.
Oh yeah. When I watch the news, I literally feel my energy go down.
There's
So,
so much fear and negativity in the collective right now. And so,
mhm,
and so when you go out into the world and you're engaging with the world, you're going to pick up on all that negativity and that darkness and that density. And so just a really good practice that I've learned when I start feeling those unwanted things or that like obsessive thought that's draining my energy is like I go, okay, time out. Pause.
mhm,
Is this mine?
mm,
And I just ask that question, is this mine? And then I wait for the answer. And 99% of the time, it's not even mine.
mm, yeah.
It's not mine. And then it's just
Mm.
like, oh, okay. I,
Yeah.
I'm just picking that up from somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy how much you can pick up, especially when you're high sensitive, when you're an empath. You can feel thoughts from your neighbors, your family members, your friends. When you talk on the phone, you only have to hear their voice for like not even a minute, and you already feel like, oh, they're carrying some heaviness with them, and it can be as easy as that. You can pick it up from animals, from everything that has energy.
Everything. Yeah.
Mm,
And so that's why I think it's really important to have those daily cleansing practices, those clearing practices where we mentioned earlier, you're in the shower and you're letting the water not just clear your emotions, but clearing all the physical baggage that you've picked up throughout the day, all the energetic baggage that you've picked up out throughout the day, everything that's not yours,
yeah.
everything that's not helpful, wanted, and in alignment with you. You have to learn to clear yourself.
Mm,
Salt is a great clearing tool. So a little salt scrub while you're in the shower, put a little salt in your bath. You can sage yourself, smudge yourself, work with essential oils, work with crystals. There's all different ways to clear your energy field. But I think a lot of times, if you're picking up a lot of those negative thoughts and emotions from the outside world, you've got to learn to clear it every day.
mm,
Otherwise, those things they get lodged in your field, they get lodged in your mind, and then you can't shake them. And they
mm,
drain you. They
yeah.
completely and absolutely drain you. So you've got to learn to clear yourself every day.
Mhm. And I use a mantra myself for that. At the end of the day, I say, my energy is my own, and all the energies that are not mine, please send them back to the owner with good intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
It can be as
And
easy as that. You can visualize it for yourself. Just see yourself radiating and see all the energy that is not yours. It can be a different color, but you can just visualize it going back or to the earth or to their owner.
yeah. And
Mm.
then the other thing is if those thoughts are yours
Hmm.
and what happens is they start to loop.
Hmm.
And
Oh yeah,
they
lovely.
create cycle and this loop and it feels like you can't get out of it. So the best thing to do is learn how to change the pattern, change the pathway, right?
Hmm.
We've got to figure out a way to like put an end to that loop. And so
Hmm.
when you start feeling yourself cycling in this draining negativity, and I think you said this earlier, but I'm just going to repeat it because it's so important, is you have to switch it up.
Hmm.
Change the pattern. Get up and go for a walk. Do something completely different to reset those neural pathways.
You can do tapping for that as well. And
Yeah.
when you tap on certain energy points, like here and here, you can find them on the internet. And we talked about it in the webinar as well. When you tap on certain energy points on your body, you change those neural pathways, and you can use them with affirmations. Say, I'm only thinking positively. Only good things happen to me. You can change the way you
Yeah.
think by actively and with intention speak those affirmations every day.
Yeah. It's basically like you have to figure out how to hit the reset button
Yeah.
and create a new pattern.
Hmm. Exactly. Again, see what works for you. It's all about discovery, self-discovery, how you heal, how you grow.
Mhm.
It's unique for us all. So you really have to go on that journey yourself and to find out what works for you, what you feel good with. and then go and grow from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's it, right?
Gosh, that was an amazing session.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Once again, let's just thank everybody who submitted a
Oh yeah,
question. This
of
was
course.
an incredible conversation.
Yes, thank you all so much for everyone who has submitted a question and who has subscribed to the webinar. We all hope you are inspired by it and yeah, just love it really.
Yes, thank you guys so much for being here.